reckons that cabin waste from aircraft can bring around 6 million tonnes every year, and that's likely to rise to around 10 million tonnes by 2030. In America, the aluminium cans could be enough to build 60 777 aircraft. It really is quite something. So what do we do about it? Well, the International Aviation Waste Management Association is trying to bring together airports and airlines to make this happen, to get policies in place and to get governments, regulators to work that way as well. Well, we're joined by Andrew Wilson, who heads that association, and Gregoire James, who's from a recycling company, GeneraCycle, in Toronto. Gentlemen, welcome to the programme. So, Andrew Wilson, if I could start with you, please. How big is this issue of aviation waste?
It's a big problem. And there are lots of metrics out in the marketplace. And I think the most recent ones that have been floated around in the last 12 months have really focused on cabin waste size. But you need to go back a little further than that and, to get a bigger picture number. And by that, it's really all of the waste generated in the field of aviation and not just from the cabin. For organizations like the IAWMA, as an industry aggregator, what we're really here to do is kind of take the initiative to push forward the waste management agenda and champion some needs for standards. That's one of the things that's a big challenge. The harmonization of procurement. So basically now choosing materials at source that actually have a full end-of-life strategy associated with them. And really looking at single-use design and eco-design. And I know before COVID-19 occurred, many airlines were transitioning away from the plastic knife and straw and moving to bamboo and others. The challenge with all of that is it fully biodegradable in all settings? And to date, we're not aware of any real meaningful global supply chain strategy that aggregates and actually collects all this waste and effectively sorts it, streams it, and monetizes it, which is another opportunity for the industry.
Okay, because certainly airlines and airports, I guess they do talk to each other, but sometimes not as much as we would like. Gregoire, what do you think airports and airlines could or should be doing?
I think that airports and airlines, as you say, could be working together a lot more. But the reality is, airports and airlines really can't do this alone. They need an aggregative and collaborative, readily available market-making platform, specifically rooted in circular economy. A platform with a mission to provide a base of research and expert knowledge that can drive value for the industry, both for the short term and the long term. So really, framework is needed. And collaboration is needed amongst these groups. Now, we're talking, of course, about large organizations, multinational corporations, right? So each of these on their own have their own entities and groups that focus on these activities. But again, more collaboration is needed amongst the two of them.
Okay, Andrew, so you are, the International Aviation Waste Management Association. How do you solve these issues? How do you bring the people together to collaborate and do that and actually get the policies that can be followed around the world? So what do you do as an association?
It's one of the biggest challenges of any industry aggregator or influencer. The COVID-19 actually has done a favor from the perspective that now all bets are off. So what is the new industry going to look like? How does it reconstitute? What size is it? What services are being offered? So I think today what we have is we actually have an opportunity we did not have prior to the COVID-19 impact, dramatic impact to demand, simply because the motivation wasn't there. I think in a new environment, and potentially depending on how various states support their airline industry, and in particular what incentives or programs are put in place in support of that money will actually now potentially elevate the environmental challenges, not only just CO2 challenges, but what do we actually do with this? Coming from the industry, I understood sort of two primary drivers, and that was regulators and revenues. So the fact that the regulators now are also raising environmental questions to the airlines, revenues, well, we all know where the revenues are at this point in time. And we're actually saying that in a circular economy, there is cost savings and there is actual monetization to be made of these waste streams.